Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Welcome to AdMaths plus Maths. We are now going to discuss paper 1 of additional mathematics. It is variant 2, May-June 2020, item number 1. So, we are asked to sketch the graph of y equals the modulus of the quantity of x minus 2 times the quantity of x plus 1 times the quantity of x plus 2. Take note of that modulus sign. Okay, modulus sign is also called absolute value. Okay, other countries called it absolute value, meaning all possible values of y should be positive. Okay, next, showing the coordinates of the points where the curve meets the axis. What do you mean by the where the curve meets the axis? This means we have to find out the x-intercepts and the y-intercept of the graph. Okay? If we want to look for the x-intercept, we have to make y 0. Okay? In looking for y-intercept, we make x is equal to 0. So let's do first x-intercepts. So I made that y is equal to 0. Do not mind yet the modulus sign. Okay? So you just change that y to 0. Okay, so remember, when you are trying to solve for the values of an x, okay, and a polynomial is already factorized, you can equate already each of the factor to the 0. Okay, so example here, I have x minus 2 is equal to 0. Therefore, the first value of the x is 2. Next, x plus 1 is equal to 0. The second value of x then is equal to negative 1. Okay, by the way, why it became 2? Because I need to add both sides by 2 to remove that negative 2, and then I will have, for this one, I will have to subtract both sides by 1. That's why it becomes negative 1. Okay, for the third one, x plus 2 is equal to 0, so I need to subtract both sides by 2, so x is equal to negative 2. So these are the values of the x. These are not yet the x-intercepts, because when we say x-intercept, they are called points. Okay, showing the coordinates of the points. So we have to show the coordinates. You have to write it in this way. So the coordinates are 2, 0 is the first point. Negative 1, 0 is the second point. Negative 2, 0 is the third point for the x-intercepts. How about for y-intercept? For y-intercept, you have to make all x's 0. So 0 minus 2 is negative 2. 0 plus 1 is 1. 0 plus 2 is 2, of course. Okay, so y now is equivalent to negative 2 times 1 times 2. Okay, if you will multiply all those, y will be equivalent to negative 4. Thus, okay, again, y-intercept is also a point, and you have to show the coordinates of that point. Since x is equal to 0, then the coordinate of the y-intercept is 0, negative 4. Okay, let's proceed to the sketching of the graph. Okay, if you are sketching, at least you are supposed to be putting in equal intervals. Okay, let's say this is 1, this is 2, this is negative 1, this is negative 2. Okay, take a look at the values or the points that we have gathered from the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Let's do first the x-intercept. So I have 2, negative 1, and negative 2. So I have 2, negative 1, and negative 2. Okay, so those are the points now that we have. Okay, next thing that you need to graph is the y-intercept. Where is the y-intercept? It is on negative 4. But remember, since we are dealing with modulus, that y-intercept 0, negative 4 won't be here anymore later on. This will go up there. But do not do that yet, because, okay, always remember that when we say positive x cubed, the graph looks like this. Okay, when we say negative x cubed, the graph will look like that. Now, to identify if it is a positive x cube or a negative x cube, you have to take a look at the x's over here, x, x, and x. So if you will multiply all those x's, x times x times x is a positive x cube. So therefore, it will look like this. So it will start on the left bottom, going to the curve, and then lastly going up. Okay, so I will just graph that. Okay, so our graph will look like this already. Okay, of course, the one below should extend a little bit. Okay, but I don't have enough space in my PowerPoint presentation. So let's move on to, how about, sir, I have the modulus symbol. Okay, of course, this will not be yet your graph because this is a modulus function. So since it's a modulus function, there should be no graph below the x-axis. So whatever graph you have in the x-axis or below the x-axis, you have to move it up. Okay, so instead of -4 as your y-intercept, the y-intercept will become +4. And this graph will go up over here. This graph will also go up over there. Okay, that's the only thing that we need to do there. So you are able to graph or sketch the graph properly. Okay, this will be the marking scheme. So 1 mark for the shape, 1 mark for correct x coordinates, and 1 mark for correct y coordinate and max in first quadrant. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. Happy learning. I hope you have learned something in watching this video.